Greetings of the day. Public Police Channel is starting with the blessings of our Chairman Justice K.G. Balakrishnan, former Chief Justice of India, to discuss on Uniform Civil Code. And this is Dr. Sandhya Singh on behalf of Public Police NGO. I have a background in education, especially pertaining to teacher education and youth development. Writer and social worker who believes that right education and curriculum can change the society for betterment. And so we have taken today's discussion on a very important social issue related to women, the Uniform Civil Code. And to speak on this, our esteemed guests of today are Mr. P.K. Malhotra, who has more than 40 years of experience in the field of law and has held many important assignments in the Government of India. He was Secretary in the Ministry of Law and Justice, Government of India. He has handled legal issues pertaining to constitutional law, administrative law, commercial laws, cyber laws, alternate dispute resolution, including arbitration and conciliation. He has also worked as arbitrator in large number of cases. He was involved in processing and finalizing many important legislations, Amendment Act 2013, Companies Act 2013, Prohibition of Benami Property Transaction Act 1988, Arbitration and Conciliation Act 2015, Commercial Courts Act 2015, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016, Information Technology Act 2000, Securities Law Amendment Act, and the list goes on. He is chairman of the committee constituted by Ministry of Law and Justice for framing rules and regulations under the mediation bill. We are indeed grateful for him to have agreed to give us his valuable time to share his deep knowledge on Uniform Civil Code. We also have with us today Mrs. Arsha Malik from J&K, who is a social activist and contributes articles to prestigious publications like Swaraj magazine, constantly promoting diverse voices on issues related to women and civil rights. Currently, she is working on the book titled The Unheard Muslim, a literary exploration of unrepresentative narratives within the Muslim community. We are thankful to her for sparing her time to voice her opinion on the matter of Uniform Civil Code. And next we have with us Mr. Vimal Vaklu. Mr. Vimal Vaklu is the former chairman and managing director of Telecommunication Consultants India Limited, a Government of India enterprise, past president of the Telemedicine Society of India, and the ex-board member of International Society for Telemedicine and E-Health. He has more than 46 years of experience in the field of telecom and information technology, an expert in focus group on artificial intelligence for environmental efficiency and artificial intelligence for health. He has been instrumental in the successful implementation of the prestigious Government of India's Pan-African E-Network project, a project envisaged by Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, the former President of India, providing a platform to 48 nations in Africa to India for education and health services. So today we are indeed grateful to have such a wonderful, knowledgeable, and experienced list of panels. Our today's topic of discussion is, will Uniform Civil Code empower women in India? I would now request Mr. P.K. Malhotra ji to please throw light on what exactly is Uniform Civil Code, because it is very important for people in general to understand the entire Uniform Civil Code, because the meaning and the thought behind it is not very clear. So the contents of the Uniform Civil Code has to be understood in general. I request Mr. P.K. Malhotra ji.
Thank you, Dr. Sandhya. And I thank the Public Police Trust for inviting me and participating in this important discussion, because this is a topic for almost now more than 6 months. This is being debated on various channels. The politicians, the bureaucrats, the social activists, everybody is talking at the top of his voice, Uniform Civil Code, Uniform Civil Code. But nobody has come out with the content as to what the Uniform Civil Code is going to be or what it is draft as on today. But we use this term because our Constitution of India, in Article 44 of the Constitution, which is a directive principle of state policy, it specifically provides that the state shall endeavor to secure for the citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. Now, this is a mandate given to the government of India that for all citizens living in this country, there should be a uniform civil code. Let me give you the background of why this Article 44 was incorporated into the Constitution. When the Constituent Assembly was debating this particular provision, in fact, it was going to be, suggestion was that it should be incorporated as one of the fundamental rights. So if you incorporate it as a fundamental right, then it becomes immediately enforceable and any citizen can approach the court of law asking that the government should immediately implement it. But because there were different voices in the Constituent Assembly itself, saying that because we are a secular country, people of all religion are living here, their religious practices are also to be protected. So the time is not yet ripe where we can have a uniform civil code as you have a uniform criminal code, because the personal laws and the religious practices overlap. So some time should be given people to understand what the religious practices can remain and what the personal law will be covered, which will form part of the uniform civil code. And as from the understanding of a common man's point of view, and whatever debate has taken place so far, as on today, as a common man understand, the uniform civil code means a common set of laws governing marriage, divorce, succession, adoption for all Indians, instead of allowing personal laws of people of different faiths. This is the basic, or I can say the bottom line on which the uniform civil code is to be conceived. Now, as I talked about the Constitution Assembly debate, a large number of public interest litigations were also filed before the Supreme Court from time to time, that government should be directed that the uniform civil code should be implemented for all citizens of India, because the main objective was to acquire gender equality. And this gender inequality was being felt because of the various religious practices prevalent under the various religion. Children, whether there is the same law for adoption? No, there are different laws for adoption. Inheritance, different law of adoption. Succession, different law of adoption. Marriage practices, different laws. In certain categories, you have polygamy. In certain categories, you don't have. Idea was there should be a uniformity for all this. And therefore, the Supreme Court was asked that they should intervene. But Supreme Court, and rightly so, they didn't interfere. They don't give any direction to the government for implementation of UCC. But at the same time, they said it is desirable that the time has arrived when the government of India should consider whether UCC should be implemented or not. But the Supreme Court also said, because it is a policy decision and policy decisions are better left to the government, so that all stakeholders are consulted and a conscious decision is politically taken after considering after taking the views of all stakeholders. And the government of India, respecting the sentiments expressed by the Supreme Court, referred the matter to the Law Commission. The 21st Law Commission, headed by Justice B.S. Chauhan, examined this particular matter, but since his term was coming to an end, on 31st of August 2018, it issued a consultation paper. It didn't give a full-fledged report, although it was this consultation paper. As a student of law, because I have gone through it, I have seen it, and I find, in fact, it is a full-fledged report where the commission has, after considering all stakeholders' view, has come out to certain decisions, certain recommendations to be considered by the government. But since it was not formally submitted to the government, they said it is a consultation paper to be further developed and discussed. And there they said that this consultation paper government may consider, and thereafter, if consensus arises, further action can be taken. But nothing happened because it was a consultation paper, nothing happened. Now the 22nd Law Commission again has come out with an observation, and I'm sorry, in the 21st Law Commission, when it gave the consultation paper, its concluding remarks were that the time is still not right for implementing the UCC in this country. But the present Law Commission, which was constituted after the expiry of 3 years from the term of the last Law Commission, has again invited further comments from the public whether UCC for bringing gender equality and having uniformity in the personal laws of all citizens of the country can be implemented or not. This Law Commission has again invited comments. Why it is happening? Because I can share, and it is in public domain, that till the time the UPA government was there, whenever a parliament question was asked whether there is a proposal to bring the UCC, the government always used to say, we have no proposal for bringing UCC in the country. But after the present government, NDA government took over, the reply to the parliament question was different. The project, this is under consideration of the government and it will come out with a law at appropriate time. And the present government in its manifesto in 2014 and again in its manifesto of 2019 elections